everyone. So good to see you guys again. I want to show you some blues ideas. I want to show you blues ideas using this house of blues. And then 2 octaves of the minor pentatonic, along with a lower extension. So if you have all those together, this lower extension, this first octave, the second octave, and this house of blues shape, you can go between all 3 of those, and you have all kinds of notes and all kinds of cool ideas you can use for your blues soloing. So first I'm going to show you how to learn what those shapes are, what those octaves and those extensions are. Then I'm going to show you how to get some blues ideas going, some basic ideas using string bends in 3 common places. And then I'm going to show you how to add little note ideas onto the end of those main ideas as a way to improvise. So let's try that out. So first we're going to start with the octaves. I like learning, instead of this whole scale shape all at once like that, I think it's easier to think of it as 2 octaves. Because it is 2 octaves, but it's easier to think of it as like 2 small shapes, and then you just learn those and you put it together, one big shape. So an octave is just 1 low note to the same note higher up. That's a way simple way of thinking of it. Simplify it for now. So we're going to go, that's the first octave, not too many notes. It's a pentatonic, so there's only really 5 notes. The octave note is repeated, so that's not really counted as a second note. So we have first finger, fourth finger, first finger, third finger, first finger, third finger. That's the pentatonic, minor pentatonic, 1 octave. Then the next octave is here to here. Those are the same notes, just one is a higher version. So now we're going to learn the octave shape there. Okay, so starting on this note, you're going to go first finger, third finger, first finger, fourth finger, first finger, fourth finger, and then you go back down. So now you have those 2 octave shapes, this one and this one. You can add this higher note right there. Okay, so then on the second higher octave, this higher up octave, there's the house of blues that you can slide into. So if you go to this note and switch to your middle finger now, you can slide up 2 frets. Now you're in the house of blues. The house of blues is this shape. So those notes there. So you're here on the 9th fret, 8th fret, 10th fret, 8th fret, 10th fret. Second finger, first finger, third finger, first finger, third finger. So you can slide up into the house of blues from that octave shape, from this octave shape here. Go here and slide up into it. And that's actually a common way to get lots of blues ideas, is sliding from here to here and back down. So that's really common. So then the lower extension is you had this lower octave we looked at first. Then you can go add those notes down there. So if this is your octave shape, you can go down to the 3rd fret with your first finger and go first, third, just those notes there. First, third on the 6th and 5th string. So add those notes to this lower octave shape. And you can go back and forth between those with a slide, kind of like we slid up into the house of blues. Works really good to slide into those notes. Okay, so now you got all kinds of ideas, or all kinds of notes to use for ideas. You got all these octave shapes, and you can slide up into this house of blues. So you got notes all the way from here, all the way to here, that you can use. So now let's look at using some some riff ideas, and then building on those. So if this is an idea that you're going to use, actually before that, let's look at string bends. Those are 3 common spots to do string bends in this higher up octave shape. So on the 3rd string, this note right here with the ring finger, bend that a full step. Because when you're bending that a full step, that's actually same thing as sliding up into the house of blues like we looked at. So that's why that works. And then this note, second string, you can bend up right from this octave shape, bend up a full step. Because when you're doing that, that's really just playing these two notes from that House of Blues. And then you can do first string, bend up a full step. Because that's the same as these two notes from the House of Blues shape. So now you got 3 good spots to do string bends. So now you can use those ideas. So let's use this first string bend. So there's one idea you can do, string bend. And then you're going to go first and second strings, all from that shape, that octave shape. So bend, second string, first string, bend, first string, second string. Sorry, let me say it again. Bend, second string, first string, bend, second string, first string. So that's the idea we're going to start with. So let's go ahead and take a look at doing that. I'm going to play that with the backing track here. You can try it as it changes the chords too. That last time I added a couple extra notes. That's a trick. That's an idea you do. So, and then add some notes. Add some extra notes below, right from the scale shape. That's a simple way to add on to your idea. Add a few more notes, okay? Now we do the same thing, we're going to add higher notes after the idea. So just in that first octave, but adding the higher notes in it. So these are just like real simple ways you can start getting ideas for how to improvise. Okay, now we're going to slide into the House of Blues. So we did that same idea with the bend, but then we're going into the House of Blues here. Slide, just like we looked at. So kind of changing from that octave shape to the House of Blues. So now we're just going to do that for a few bars, but then we're going to add on some extra notes. See, same idea, we just added some notes on the ends like before. You're doing that basic idea with the bends. Slide up, House of Blues, some extra higher notes. Now we're going to do House of Blues and slide out of it. So you see that? We do the same bend idea. Slide up and slide down. Back out of the House of Blues, back to the octave shape. Now we're going to do the same thing and add some lower notes. See, just put some lower notes on there. So the bend idea, House of Blues, slide up, slide back out, lower notes. So you can see how we put all this together. Higher notes, slide out, some lower notes. Now we're putting all that together. So the bend idea, slide up, House of Blues, higher notes, slide down, lower notes, all those things together. Now you got three, let's see, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different little ideas put together. So now we're kind of making phrases. And so that's the basic formula that you can try out. So you try your riff idea, go up in the House of Blues, add some notes, move out of the House of Blues, add some lower notes. Now we're going to do the same thing, same format, same formula, but we're going to do it with these lower extensions. Okay, so we're going to do the same bend idea. Let's get it when it comes around on this next chord. Okay, so we did there the bend idea, some lower notes, and then those extension notes. Lower notes, then those extension notes, lower extensions. Lower notes, lower extension notes. What did he do that time? That time, just added on more notes back into the octave shape. Lower notes, lower extension, go back into that octave. Build your way back in. Lower extension, come back up into it. Now let's add some more. See, now we just kind of went up some higher notes too. Went up to the House of Blues, back out of the House of Blues, lower notes, lower extension notes. So you can use this like an exercise where you're just going up into the House of Blues, back down to this octave, down to the lower octave, down to this lower extension, back up. Uses it as a way to kind of get familiar with finding all the notes in those 3 different spots. Last thing I'm going to show you is how to play with rhythm. So let's do this idea that we started with that bend and those other 2 notes. So let's get that coming around here. Now we're going to change the rhythm on that. So instead of, we're going to go. See, all we did is kind of drag out some of those notes. Same notes, but let's drag them out. See, that gets a different feel. Same notes, just dragging some of them out longer. So you can play around with that, taking a few of those notes on the end and dragging them out longer. Let's see what else we can do with that, just changing the rhythm by making notes longer. Now we made that bend really long, those next 2 notes long, and then the last few notes short. So you just play around with the space. So let's see what else we can do. Let's try doing. Now all we did that time is just make that very last note long. So that's what you can try out. Let's see what you can do with that. So let's try putting that all together All these ideas we learned all together. For extension, coming back up, bend, changing the rhythm, higher notes in that House of Blues, back out of the House of Blues. Play all the notes quick, let's try that. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. We do that riff idea, but with fast notes. Right? Same thing with fast notes. House of Blues, add some higher notes. Going down to that lower extension. Now let's change the rhythm on that main idea again. All right, so those are all the ideas you can try. Try playing around with it, mixing them up, experiment, and see what you can come up with. And we'll see you in the next video.